This is Siren, your food critic for the Commodore. I am sitting outside of Shahnai. I think that's how you pronounce it. Shahnai. That's my sidekick. In Houston, Texas. And this is on Hillcroft. It is a buffet. I'm not sure. I think it's Mediterranean. It says halal on it. I'm not sure what type of cuisine it is. I actually like the food. Some of it was familiar. Garbanzo beans. The medley of it, I really like the onions that was mixed into it. It had a flavor. So there were two different kinds. There was one on the hot bar and one on the cold bar. The one on the cold bar was kind of more of like a salad, but it didn't have any not like lettuce, not like that type of salad, but just like a cold salad. I think it had like a little mix of onions and cucumbers and tomatoes and bell pepper and like a vinaigrette. So let me see what else. They had some meats for you carnivores out there. I did taste just a little bit of it just so I could give you a review on it. I was impressed with the barbecue chicken. It was just like, I think it was just like dark meat, legs and wings. Yeah. And because of the way it was grilled, where it's just like a little bit burnt, that kind of, I was surprised that they had that open fire grill taste to it. That was surprising to me. So that was really good. It was a little bit bland, not the chicken, but some of the other dishes, and I thought maybe that's just, you know, to my liking. But there was a banquet there. Somebody was having a banquet there, and they were, how do you say, from the same ethnicity of the owners of the restaurant of that particular type of food. And I heard a lady come out and ask for salt, and I'm just like, okay, so it's not, you know, me and my personal preference. Even someone that is of this particular culture is requesting salt to add, you know, to some of the dishes. So if you have high blood pressure, I think it's a great place to eat. It's not over seasoned, and then what is seasoned is seasoned well. One of the rices, I'm not big on rice because it's not good for you unless it's wild rice. But one of the rices, it was very colorful. It was it had like orange and yellow. I don't know what kind of rice it was. I didn't ask anybody anything. I just dug right in. I was hungry. But it had like it had a clean taste to it. Like, it reminded me of like maybe cilantro or something, but I didn't see bits of cilantro in it. So that was surprising, and that was a refreshing taste, because you could take that with the hot garbanzo beans, because they had some garbanzo beans that had like some type of gravy with it. So I would put that together, you know, eat those things together. Or you could take some of the chicken and the broth that it was in and put it over, you know, one of those rices. That was a really good combo there. Let's see, what else did they have? Oh, they had a salad bar. Of course, you had your greens and your cucumbers and stuff over there. I like the fact that they had the bottle of oil and vinegar, and then they had this little green sauce that you could drizzle across your salad. That was pretty good. So I did all three. It was good. I enjoyed it. They did have a high chair, so it is family friendly for toddlers. The customer service, it was weird. I don't know if it was just like a cultural divide there. It felt like to me, and I was the only black person there, only person of color. I saw one African, but that's a whole nother story. They don't consider us the same. It's a whole other can of worms. But that was it. And it was just a weird, no one was mean, but it was just, you know how you walk into a place and you're not exactly welcome, but it's not exactly like, hey, you get out of here. It's just that kind of weird in between space. So yeah, and even the simple things like what was it? I wanted a receipt because I paid with cash, and normally this is a business write-off for me. Normally I pay for everything with my debit card, and he didn't offer a receipt, so I asked for a receipt, and it was like the way he gave it to me was like he wanted to make absolutely sure our hands didn't touch. And trust me, I get it. I am the #1 germaphobe, but it's a difference with like germs versus that weird vibe of culture clashing. Not necessarily, not racism, but it's just like some undertones there of what people have been taught about other people, or like, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe people that look like me in their country work for them and are treated very harshly. Because I have some friends that we were roommates at one time, or not roommates, neighbors, and I believe that's what they told me. But I'm not 100% sure of what the ethnicity is of that particular group. But sometimes you know stuff and you don't know you know stuff. I think it's one of those things. So, would I go back and eat there again? Nah. The food was good, but it was reasonably priced. It was $10.99 for the buffet. It wasn't good enough for me to be hungry one day and say, oh, I want to eat at Shahnai. It just wasn't that good. And sometimes you can eat at a place that's not that good, but because the customer service and they made you feel so amazing, you want to go back too. So yeah, that's like 2 strikes. Nah, I wouldn't eat there again. There's so many other buffets I've been to that are really, really good. So on a scale of 1 to 5, with the pricing, the dining space, the setup, casual, all that, I will give them a 2.5. I'll give them a 2.8 on a scale of 1 to 5 across the board in all categories. This is your food critic for the commoner. I do not do white tablecloth, expensive bottle of wine. We are looking for those places that you drive by and you say, is this worth my time? Can I bring my kids? Do they have a high chair? Can I afford it? This is your food critic for the commoner. Like, subscribe, and share.